Hey there, I'm Danny Reisch. We're here at my studio, Good Danny's, in Lockhart, Texas, and we're going to be listening to the new 535 diode bridge compressors from Rupert Neve Designs. I've got a lot of experience using the vintage Rupert Neve 2254s. I love those on guitars. There's a really nice, like, spongy sort of quality to them, and even if you're not compressing, they have a lot of tone because of the transformers in them. The 535 has that same kind of girth and that tone and texture, but there's way more options in terms of time constants, so it's a lot easier to dial in on multiple sources. The vintage limiters, they kind of work or don't, and they're definitely less versatile. So we're going to run some examples on some subgroups from a song called Running Home to You by a band from Austin, Texas called Bee Caves. This tune it's kind of dark and moody, and a lot of the tones that we've captured on here they're pretty dark and hefty. And I think it actually pairs really well with the 535 because it's a really powerful compressor. There's a lot of tone and a lot of girth to it. With a song like this, with tones like these, I think it's adding a lot of like chunk and heft and kind of fattening everything up. For this demo, we're gonna start by listening to the drums clean with no compression on the bus, and then we'll try some extreme settings, see if we can kind of make them distort and pump and get some heavy tone out of it. We'll try dialing that back a little bit with the mix, and then we'll try some lighter, kind of more subtle compression settings as well. So here's some recordings of the kick and snare separated left and right so we can hear what it does on individual tracks. I was able to dial in extra body and thwack. The snare is already pretty beefy on this, but it really brought out a lot of tone and some resonance, and it just has this impact. There's like an inertia to the sound hitting that thing. It grabs in such an elegant way. This is not a compressor for the faint of heart. It's got a lot of character. So the kick, this kick was recorded with a Sennheiser E602. It's a CNC kick drum. It's a 24-inch kick, so it's already got a lot of body and tone. The snare is a 6.5-inch CNC. Also a pretty beefy drum to begin with. This had a combination of a 57 and I think it was a 451. There's a little bit of a blend of a condenser in there for a little extra snap. So the 535s seem to add a lot. They add a punch. There's a weight to them. It kind of, again, it's already a fat snare drum, but it kind of turns it even more into a phone book. It just thwacks super hard, which in a dense mix, which these drums are part of, it helps a lot because I mean I'm trying to fight my way through guitars, through thick bass, big backup vocals. It just had a way of punching straight through. So we've also got some bass that we're running through these guys. We've got some clean samples so you can hear how the bass was recorded. It's just a DI on the bass, so it could definitely benefit from having a little extra low end and girth and power. We've got a couple settings here. We've got an extreme bass setting, like the drums. It sounds really cool. It may be a little much, but there is a blend knob on these compressors so we can get it kind of hitting hard and then dial it back just a little bit to keep some clarity in there. So we've got some vocal samples we're going to play with as well. We'll start off with the dry, just kind of original vocal the way it was tracked. It's got effects on it, so there is some reverb, some, kind of gnarly slap on there. It's got a lot of character already. With the 535, I tried two different approaches. One is a little bit softer and kind of spongier. The grab is a little slower, the release is a little slower, it's a little more forgiving. And then we've also got a version with the fast button in, which doubles the time constants, and you really hear it like bite and kind of grab some of the consonants harder. I've had a lot of luck using the 535 on vocal subgroups as well. There's it's got some of the speed like from an 1176, but with a little more forgiving release. Like you don't hear the pump and kind of distortion from the release being so fast. It's almost like the perfect version of somewhere between an 1176 and an LA2A.
I went walking in the wilderness, oh, to find my love. I went walking in the wilderness, oh, to find my love. I went walking in the wilderness, oh, to find my love. Clumsily I stumbled out of the great unknown. Clumsily I stumbled out of the great unknown. Clumsily I stumbled